Incredible week. My golf game felt great all week long. Was very confident out there. Put in a lot of hard work, really all of this year leading up to, I mean, you could say this, but arguably, the last month and a half or so, I've been really proud of not only putting in the hard work, but seeing some results. It's not often as golfers out here on tour, you get the chance to win and do win. And so was very, very fortunate to have a great partner in Andrew Novak a few weeks ago at the Zurich Classic and get a win with him. Incredible experience. And, yeah, it's nice to, I don't want to say silence the haters, but there was definitely some hate comments I got last night, and I used that as fuel today to get an individual win.
And then if you'll just recap the round, you got off to a hot start, and then especially take us through hole 18 there at the end. Yeah,
got off to an incredible start. This golf course early on in the round, really just 1 and 2. Those are birdie holes out of the gate. You got to take advantage of those because there's a lot of really difficult par 4s, par 3s are all tough. I mean, the entire golf course is very, very tricky. It can feel easy from time to time, but you can get barely out of position and all of a sudden you're grinding for bogey. And if you're 4 paces further left or and have a gap, you can be making birdies. So it's very much a positional golf course. I took advantage of the early holes. Kind of had some hiccups mid-round. I did the same thing yesterday. It's not like necessarily something was off. It's just you get out of position a little bit, and it's hard, and you leave yourself an 8-footer, and you don't make it, and all of a sudden you're writing down a bogey. So, the back nine was quite the grind. I didn't go into the back nine only hoping to hit, I think, 1 or 2 greens in regulation, however many I did. I think I hit the green in regulation on 10, 11, and 12 and didn't hit a green from then on. So it's just very, very difficult, very challenging. Proud of the way I scrambled down the stretch. Hell of a chip in by Matty on 18 to apply the pressure. That was crazy. Certainly when I'm over my chip on 18, you always have to expect your opponent to make their next shot, but I was in a difficult lie and was very happy to gave it a really good run and almost went in, but left myself a 4-footer. And after he chipped in, I was like, all right, I guess you got to make this one now, as opposed to lagging it up there. So it was incredible to win today, and so many people to thank, and very very proud to be the Charles Schwab champion.
And before we open it up to questions, talk a little bit about what it means to win at Colonial, one of our most historical courses on tour.
Totally. Super historical. It's amazing that the PGA Tour has continued to come here and create, they call it the Charles Schwab Challenge. It is a challenge. I mean, 12 under, I think, was I 12 under par? I've asked a couple people. 12 under. For 12 under to win on the PGA Tour, that's a really difficult golf course. And this is not a long modern golf course. This is not like a huge U.S. Open test, modern U.S. Open test. It's old school, and it still challenges us, the best players in the world. And it's very, very difficult, and it's really incredible to have lifted that trophy on 18 with so many incredible names and greats in the game of golf. I'm very blessed to be where I am in my career, to even consider myself a champion along with those guys. So. It's been a lot of hard work that's gone into this, and it's an awesome place for me to get my first individual win, and it's such a historical venue.
All right, if you'll raise your hand, we'll get a microphone to you. We'll start with Kevin in the back left. Okay, go ahead, Art. We'll go Art and then Kevin.
Okay. Most important question, I guess, is who gets to drive the Challenger truck, you or the fiancée?
I don't want to see her behind the wheel quite yet. No, she said it's fine. She wants to be a passenger princess. It's I'm not going to be driving it from here to the memorial, but when we do drive it, it'll be very fun. I think we decided we're taking it to the beach as our first stop. So we recently moved to Jupiter, Florida, in the process of renovating a home. So the garage has a lot of 2x4s, so we're gonna have to find some space to store it in the meantime. But it's gonna be fun to ride that thing around.
All right, let's go to Kevin.
I'm ready now. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, so you started the season with no wins and some close ones, and now here you are, man. Like in the last 4 weeks, you've won twice. Is your head just spinning?
Yeah, there's nothing to this game. It's easy. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, up until last week, I'd never made a cut to major. Finished 8th at the PGA. Had a real good chance there to even finish solo runner-up. Was within a few of Scotty, going in the back nine. Yeah, it's crazy how fast things can change in this game. Even going back to when I didn't have any status on any sort of tours, getting onto the Korn Ferry Tour. I mean, it's just a bunch of stepping stones that kind of get you to the next part of your career. And now I'm at the point where I feel like starting to show that I am an elite golfer. I can compete against the best. It hasn't really sunk in quite yet here, like what necessarily I've accomplished at least the last few weeks, but I know that I'm extremely proud and extremely happy with the way my hard work's kind of paid off a little bit recently, because golf's I said it was easy. Golf is not an easy game. It's a very hard game, and you don't win very often, and some people never win, and it's really cool to get that monkey off the back, going back a few weeks ago. And now I feel like now that I've done it a couple times, I just feel super confident in my ability down the stretch. I know it didn't maybe look like it today, but, I felt really calm and confident over a lot of putts today. And I don't know if I necessarily would have felt that maybe a year ago. But I just feel like I'm in a really good place with my golf game. It's a cyclical game. I got to make sure I keep doing the right things to remember what I'm doing right now, continue to build, and continue into the summer with some big events upcoming.
Right,
Thank you.
Go.
I do have
Go ahead.
one follow-up, John.
Yep.
Given your career journey, I wonder if you're feeling – I know you're feeling a lot of different emotions right now. I wonder if redemption and validation are two of those things you're feeling.
Yeah. Not necessarily redemption. I didn't redeem myself for anything, but definitely validation. It's really nice to get the validation. Some weeks you get validation with a top 10. Some weeks it's a top 5. Some weeks it maybe is a made cut if you're grinding through something and it's a challenging course. But winning is an incredible feeling, and words can't really describe what it feels like to beat. I don't know how big the field was this week, maybe 120 or 128. Some weeks it's 156. I mean, it's a lot of guys. There's a lot of horses in these races. And to be the last man standing on 18 is an incredible, incredible feeling. Something I've gotten to soak in, twice in the last month. It's one that I want to keep feeling. And hopefully I start winning by more than one, because winning by one gets a little stressful. But I'm still very proud of how calm and composed I was out there.
All right, let's go Skylar on the left and then over to Lawrence.
Before I get to what I wanted to ask, I just wanted to check, did you want to elaborate at all on some of the hate comments that you talked about from yesterday that you saw?
Social media, like I try not to I really don't let a lot of anything on social media get to me, because it's the Wild West. But social media is an incredible platform to share moments with people everywhere. And I just saw some people questioning my ability to win individual tournaments, or the Zurich doesn't count. The Zurich shouldn't be a PGA Tour event, stuff like that. I mean, I just use that as fuel. It's pretty fun. Like I didn't care that much that people felt that way. I feel like if I was someone on social media maybe trolling a little bit, like maybe it makes sense. I haven't won individually, and so I'm just proud that I was able to be the last man standing this week, and now I can silence some people.
And I wanted to make sure it's safe to assume you didn't think it was going to be easy when you had a 5-shot lead after just 5 holes today.
Yeah, I wasn't really thinking. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. No lead is ever safe on the PGA Tour. It never is. It can feel like a tournament's done. Maybe if it's Scotty Scheffler with a 5-shot lead, it's done. But like for most golfers, it doesn't matter how big your lead is. Things can happen out there, and I felt really confident. I felt like I was trying to keep the pedal down. I kept hitting a lot of drivers, kept trying to give myself birdie putts. I just didn't give myself a lot of birdie putts. I think I had 3 birdie putts on my last 12 holes. Crazy.
All right, let's go to Lawrence, second row right here.
Had a lot of key putts for par there on the last couple holes. Talk about keeping your composure when you kind of got in some tough situations.
Yeah, the scrambling is what put me in the seat here today. I'm very confident in my short game. I credit that going back to junior golf. My parents did so much for me growing up. They got hit hard by the recession. The 2008 recession, and so they invested a lot in me being able to practice and compete. I didn't spend very much money on range balls. I was at a public golf course, and I would chip and putt all day. I'd hit maybe a half bucket of balls for $5 or whatever it was. And my parents, they always considered themselves middle to upper class, but I knew there for a little bit when we lost our house, when we lost everything. I know they sacrificed a lot for me. And I credit a lot of my, success down the stretch today to, my short game. It kept me in it, and that's what I did as a kid. That's what helped my short game be so good down the stretch today.
All right.
I didn't mean for that answer to get that emotional,
Yeah.
but it kind of was.
Okay. Anything else? Ben, we couldn't be happier for you. Congratulations.
Thank you.